this is Kathy, and today we're going to do a restorative practice. Now, the beauty of a restorative practice is it's intended to be relaxing, recharging, to restore, and allow you to receive rather than expend energy. Many of us in our daily lives are actually fairly depleted, and a restorative practice is an opportunity to reconnect and recharge. To that end, I am going to invite you to start standing. So if you're comfortable, come through to standing. If you do want to stay seated and you actually even want to be in a chair, that's totally fine. But feel your hips or your feet on the ground, whichever the case may be, however you are, the length of your spine, the crown of your head reaching high, your shoulders relaxed and yet purposefully rolled back, an awareness of your abdomen and the length of your spine, and a nice long tailbone. For those of us standing, we feel the soles of the feet on the ground and the palms facing forward. Tadasana, mountain pose. Unlike daily life, where we might stand just kind of in our habitual forms, Tadasana actually invites the crown of the head to reach high, the shoulders to stay low, the heart to be open, as opposed to kind of, and I'm terribly exaggerating, but a lot of us kind of slumping around in daily life. Here, we're tall on purpose. We're open and long, and yet we feel the support of the earth. And again, hands at the sides. In Tadasana mountain, the palms are rolling forward or facing forward, and the thumbs are rolling back. Take a big breath in and breathe it out. Urdhva Hastasana, where the arms reach high to the sky. Now it's very easy to pull the shoulders way up. We're actually going to drop them down the back. Stay soft. You might even have a noticeable bend at your elbows. Totally fine. What you are looking for here is kind of a comfortable shoulder area. If you have blood pressure that's high, breath that's tight, shoulders and a neck that don't feel good, low energy, you're probably going to feel better staying in Tadasana and not going to Urdhva Hastasana. You choose, hands at the sides or arms overhead. How do you know what to choose? It's really easy. What feels better to you in your right now awareness? Take a big breath in and breathe it out. We're going to go to the power pose. The power pose, think kind of superhero. The elbows go back, the hands are at the hips or the waist, somewhere in the center of the trunk. The shoulders are light, relaxed and low. We're deliberately opening across the heart and the sternum. Now, it's very easy to actually kind of bend the knees or slide the hips forward or tilt the tailbone way back. We actually don't want any of those things. Think kind of nice neutral space, hips over knees over ankles, hands again on the trunk somewhere, elbows back, crown of the head reaching high, an opportunity to shine your heart open and relax your shoulders back. A soft awareness of the energy of the legs, and the legs, although straight, have a hint of soft, relaxed suppleness at the knees. And the footprints very gently, very lightly touch the ground. Toes don't have to grip or tense or tighten. No clenching. Elbows draw in as if attracted toward each other on the back body. And then the hands drop down. Again, a deliberate breath. Breath in and out. If you do happen to be in a chair or seated on the ground, totally available, you're choosing. Fingers can intertwine, kind of a little loop, like a chain link loop, or palms can face forward, thumbs and fingers intertwined here. Soft elbows. Moving the elbows and the hands, you're really moving through the whole shoulder area, in order to just relax and release tension. If energy is strong, if breath is easy, the arms can go overhead. If you're standing, you kind of softly want to bend one knee at a time, alternating, you can do that. Now the straight leg knee is just supple, meaning it's not pressed way back, it's not hyperextending or locking. It's almost like you're walking in place. We're going to separate the hands. We call this a cactus arm. It's where the elbows are about a soft 90, kind of a relaxed 90. The palms for now face forward. Take the arms a little bit back, drop them down, walk in place, and a soft, heart-led rotation. Find center. Take a big breath in, breathe it out. Today, I happen to be in socks. I was feeling a little chilly. I happen to be in a sweater. Again, feeling a little chilly. You're dressed as you're comfortable. You don't have to be in bare feet, although that's common to yoga. We're going to roll across one footprint at a time. The thing is, think about your hips. Your hips are going to stay stable. Your knees are going to take turns bending and straightening. All 10 toes are always relaxed. I point these things out because it's actually fairly common for many of us to have a habitual standing pattern where we pop out one hip, we lock out a knee, or we stand with both knees locked, or we do clench the ground. And none of these things are necessary, and they're not particularly desirable. So we're going to walk in place. I'm going to re-invite the hands again to the trunk of the body somewhere, elbows back. I'm going to drop my hands to the side. It's kind of a rolling, walking in place yoga mountain, Tadasana. And now we're going to explore balance. And the thing about balance is I'm in a balancing pose right now. I'm just in one that happens to offer a lot of support. 2 feet on the ground, very familiar. What makes this yoga mountain Tadasana pose is that I am standing with a mindful awareness. Crown of the head reaching high, shoulders relaxed toward each other on the back, the heart open. For now, my hands are at the side. You could actually practice yoga Tadasana mountain in the grocery store, in line, while you're brushing your teeth, standing at the kitchen counter, chopping vegetables, or at your sink, washing dishes, anywhere. A mindful awareness, crown of the head high, heart open, shoulders light and low, footprints relaxed and stable. Shoulders over hips, over knees, over ankles. To explore our balance, we'll softly start to shift into one footprint at a time. I'm rolling across the feet. This can feel really nice. We have a lot of nerve endings on the soles of our feet. If you feel very stable, you notice it's very natural and not a struggle for you to feel safe stability, easy breath, and yet maintain this upright spine, shoulders over hips, over knees, over ankles. You might want to play just keeping the whole footprint on the ground, kind of sliding your awareness a little more into the balls of the feet, into the heels. If this feels kind of like nothing, just not interesting, not enough, you really wouldn't say that this is a balance pose for you, you need and want more, then you might shift more of the weight forward and or back. Be aware that when you shift your weight into your heels, you want to soften the knees a little bit because it's very easy for us to lock out the knees and push them back in an unconscious effort to be stable. We don't want to lock the knees and hyperextend them back. So just a soft, supple, just a hint of a bend there can help that. If you feel like you need and want more, play with more. You can rock into the balls of the feet, even the tippy toes, resting down. You can rock into the heels. If you feel like, yeah, that's a lot, then allow your hands to touch your wall or your countertop, your vanity, the back of a sofa or a stable chair. Help yourself. If you want to, you can play. Of course, this has to be healthy for you. Throughout everything that I'm going to offer, it's important that you factor in a right now awareness. What feels safe and stable, allows for an easy breath. What do you know about your own health history? What needs to be avoided or minimized? You're factoring all that in. Arms overhead makes it harder to balance. Can make it harder to breathe. If you have high blood pressure, if you have asthma or any kind of respiratory distress, just tight shoulders or neck, low energy in the right now moment, good reasons, all of those, any of those, to have your hands at your sides. Exhale. If the arms were up, drop them down. 2 feet on the ground. Big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And you can stand with a simple awareness, or you can reach the arms overhead and sway. Now we want the feet to be stable, rather than rolling to the inner and outer edges, collapsing and rolling out. Stay somewhat stable through the footprints, although those kind of hint, or maybe even a little bit more of a hint of a bent knee. The hips rolling back and forth, the shoulders, lateral stretching. On an exhale, sweep the arms out and around and down. Take a big breath in, breathe it out. We're going to come through to seated. Now that we've taken a few breaths, or a couple minutes actually, a few minutes, to become more present, to really bring mind, body, breath, and right now momentary awareness together, I'm going to offer a brief pause in our practice, hands at the heart center, perhaps the eyes closed. Consider a right now awareness. How does your physical body feel? Sometimes we're in pain, chronic pain sometimes, discomfort. If there's something you can do to make yourself more comfortable, do it. I happen to be sitting this way. You may recognize your body needs a leg out or a footprint on the ground, or that you need to not sit on the ground because it's not available. It just isn't comfortable, and there's no reason for you to force that. So you're taking good care of yourself throughout the entire practice. It's the only reason to even do the practice. But if you like, sitting with awareness, the hands at the heart. We've taken this brief moment to notice how the body feels. Perhaps you'll now tune in. What is your state of mind? It changes throughout a day. And so are you calm, or are you agitated? Are you feeling focused or highly distracted? Are you interested and engaged in this experience? Or not really? Maybe you're kind of bored, or just, again, distracted or highly anxious. There's no right or wrong way to be. We are tuning in. That's our yoga, tuning in and paying attention. And now your mood. Is your mood light, kind of easy? Is your mood a bit difficult? Maybe you feel a little heavy, or low, or blue. Maybe you feel flat. Notice how you feel. The body, the mind, and the mood. Notice your energy. Is it high or low? Is it kind of smooth and tranquil, or is it sort of frenetic and just not easy? Dropping the hands. Notice your breathing, and breathe on purpose. In through the nose if your body lets you, and out through the mouth. Closing the eyes. How would you love to feel? Not being realistic, not factoring in, well, there's this or that going on, and I haven't felt this way for that amount of time. Just how would you love to feel? Invite it. Plant a seed. What do you want to create? What would you like to receive? just a right now awareness. And trust that you have planted that seed. We're coming to the ground. This practice is intended to be quite restorative. And to that end, I'm going to invite the back of the head to relax on the ground, a nice amount of length through the neck, a relaxed spine. We're starting with footprints on the ground and hands at the sides. Something as simple as palms down or palms up can feel quite different in your body. So choose what you like. Notice where your chin is, because many of us, when we rest down, we tilt the chin way back and way up. And that can not feel as supported through the back of the head and the neck as if we relax, give the neck space, and allow the chin to be a little closer to the sternum and not as high to the sky. Smooth out and lengthen your back and roll across the footprints, feeling the feet on the mat. Now, if standing in the space and rolling across the footprints wasn't a real good, feel-good space for your balance, this is an opportunity to just almost massage the soles of the feet. Knees point up. We're going to get long. Some backs will say, keep the feet on the ground. Listen to your body. The arms stretch alongside the ears. I'm weaving my fingers together with a little bit of a chain link here because I like how that feels. You might choose to let the palms let the fingers sort of intertwine so the palms can roll out. You might choose to just have the hands face each other. These are all choices you get to make as you sway and roll and or get long. Here in this full stretch, with the length of the legs on the ground and the shoulders, the back of the head and the arms, you might notice that your spine does in fact arc up a little bit. That's okay. A lot of support. Just rest it down. Snow angel, like a little kid out in the cold, snow angel arms, and a hug. In your hug, the knees may hug in a little. The knees may hug in a lot. Your knees may be back here. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Every body has an edge. The edge is the range of your own motion that still feels safe and comfortable, that allows you to breathe, and you feel some sort of benefit. That's your edge. Look for yours. Don't expect it to be the same day to day, and it's certainly not the same as mine or anybody else's. And I can tell you, my edge changes from day to day, time of day. Here, the knees will go wide. The arms and the hands will go in between them to rest where they fall easily and gently. This, a Tadasana pose. It's kind of like an upside down child, if you happen to be familiar with that. In this space, our back gets relaxed to the ground, the back of the head and the neck. We want to feel length through the spine. More or less a flat back. Now, in truth, our spines have natural curves, and so that's a good thing. But the flat back implies that you're not arcing and pulling and straining away from the ground, that you're letting the back relax down. Hug the right knee in and put the left footprint on the ground. As you hug the right knee in, soft energy through your hands, your fingers, your forearms, your elbows, your shoulders. Switch legs. The right foot will touch down. You'll take hold and gather the left knee in. Remembering to stay soft and relaxed through your hands and your wrists, your forearms, your elbows and your shoulders. Right foot relaxes to the ground. Perhaps the eyes will close. Put your left foot down. The arms stretch alongside the ears. You can take a feel-good stretch. Feet can stay on the ground or stretch out, whatever feels good. You might not know, and so then try, explore, kind of play around and choose. It only matters to you, and it only matters for right now. So choose based on a right now awareness of what feels good. Again, snow angel arms, knees bend and hug. They can be close together, they can be wide apart. Hands can wrap around the outer edges, across the inside. They can kind of pull the knees in and flatten the back down, or you can just relax. Be aware of the back of your head, the back of your neck, your chin, and your shoulders. Essentially, they're all having a little bit of a silent conversation. What feels good? Do that. And if it doesn't matter, if you're wondering and you're thinking, I don't know what feels good or better, if it doesn't matter and your body isn't clearly telling you do this, not that, maybe it doesn't matter. You just pick something for comfort. Take a deliberate breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Asana, an upside down child. We're going to go back to left foot down and right knee in. This can either be a second time here, or when you notice you actually have more energy, more strength, more breath, you want more, you feel like this is not interesting to you. You're looking for your edge. Stretch the right leg up, fingers weave together behind the leg goes straight up. Have as much softness or bend at that right knee as feels good to your hip, your leg, and your back. The hands can help hold the leg in the sky. They do not have to. If you feel, again, like you have more energy and strength, let the leg hold itself up. Chin more to the sternum than to the sky, although you're not straining either way. Bending and straightening the knee in a feel-good way. Or flexing and pointing the toes, the foot. Rolling the ankle. And or waving the leg. Now here, do tune in, especially to your hip, your back. Might be helpful to bend that right knee even quite a bit, or to hold the leg to help it move. Check in. Remembering, if you were quite content, if you had found your edge in the space of holding the leg up with hand support or with a bent knee, excellent. This is all for you. You are creating this for yourself. It's understood. that you will make choices that serve you. And that I'm just offering options because you might do this practice multiple times, different days, and you'll feel different from time to time, perhaps. And so we want to give you choices that you get to make. Right foot down, left knee in. There is tremendous value in staying right here. If you're new to yoga, and that new to yoga mind thinks that somehow, as I offer these choices, that each choice has more value or is better, or is the real yoga or the end purpose. Let go of that thinking. That's actually misconception. Yoga is tuning in, noticing your right now energy, need, and practicing that kind attentive awareness that allows you to meet your right now need. Possibly the left leg will go up with or without the hands, with or without toes pointing and flexing, ankle rolling. Knowing the hands can help hold you up or drop you down, knowing the leg can stay quite more straight or more soft or even quite bent. And that it's also an option to wave. Choosing to move your body more slowly than you might want to or might be your habit is a great way to calm and soothe your mind. To invite your breath to go deeper, knowing you have the time. You're not in a rush. And so, 2 feet on the ground. Perhaps the knees roll. Perhaps the arms stretch, and they might roll one way while the knees roll the other. The head can softly turn. A lot of freedom here. When it feels good, if it ever does feel good through the back, a big stretch. A snow angel arm that allows you to relax or feel the earth or hug. Remembering on occasion when you notice it, tune in head, neck, chin, across the clavicle and the shoulders, comfort and ease, knees together or apart, hands where they feel good. An easy breath in and sigh it out. Just as we now have both knees in, and a few breaths ago we had one at a time, one knee hugging in, and we had one leg stretching out. If you want, you could have both legs up. Again, hands on the legs will help. Hands at the sides will ask for a little more strength, energy, and breath. Make sure your back is feeling okay. Relax to the ground. Softening the knees can help the back relax to the ground. Holding the legs, another way to be supportive. And you can curl toes to you and point them away and roll ankles, or even bend and straighten legs, or even roll them around a little soft V and X shape. Higher energy days, you might add arms. There's not a lot of precision here. This is actually very much a free flow. How straight and elongated are your arms and legs. Depends on your energy, your breath. A lot depends on your back. Do you want to open wide or just a little? Are the elbows and the knees soft or are they straight? Do they X and crisscross and open? These are all choices that you make every single time you choose to do this. When are you done? When you feel like you're done. When you feel like now, if I continued, I wouldn't have the energy or the strength or the breath, or I would be straining my back, my stomach, my shoulders, feet on the ground, arms very light, and roll. A full body stretch for those for whom it feels good. I'm going to offer sitting up. You can bend the knees and simply roll them to one side, and you can be done. If you want to have handy props to help you, then you might allow your body to notice, okay, where does it go? Maybe it doesn't come toward the ground. Maybe you notice that your knees are up or that there's a lot of spacing between them. Bring the earth to you. And your knees are on one side. The opposite shoulder may not really relax down. I'm going to take this off just so it might be a better visual, I'm not sure. But if this other shoulder is up when your knees, for instance, are to the right, maybe your left shoulder is kind of up and it doesn't really relax, then bring the earth to you. Where's your head? Where it feels good. Length at the neck, letting it kind of roll till it finds a place to rest. Bodies are different. So for some, support under that shoulder or arm. And the shoulders are more support with the legs. There's no supposed to. There's no right. And I would say the only wrong would be if you're in pain or you're straining. You can't relax. You're wondering when you get to be done. Those indications, inability to relax when you're wondering that when you get to be done, that's actually telling you something is not as desirable as it could be. Try to create something that's a little gentler. Close the eyes. As you inhale, give yourself the word let. And as you exhale, give yourself the word go. So there's a silent refrain, let go. And that refrain is also an anchor to keep your mind in this experience when it would so naturally bounce in time and space forward and back and moving around in other areas of your life or your world. Let go. If you have something underneath the shoulder and arm or in between the knees or the legs, maybe just get it out of your own way. Hug it. Again, you can roll or be in stillness, knees together, apart, hands out or in between. Even stretching, yoga dead bug, arms and legs to the sky. Knowing that when anything reaches up, it's also dropping down. So in this case, the thigh bone, the femur bone, dropping in to the hip, to the pelvic girdle, even as the legs reach to the sky. And the arm bone here, dropping in, down, into the shoulder, the humerus, the femur. Those bones are dropping down, even though the fingers and the toes are reaching up. So you feel the energy of dropping down, staying connected to your center, even as you reach to the sky, knowing that things like this might be too much. You might need softer knees, or of the 4 limbs, you might want only 1 or 2 up at a time. And that you get to play. And when your body says, please don't, or I can't, or that's too much, far from being a problem, that is great. When you are able to hear the need of your body and you can respond, that's honestly a celebratory moment in your yoga. It's the whole reason we practice. So honor that and celebrate that when it happens by answering your right now need. I'm going to offer switching the knees to the second side. Having handy what you might want to play with to support yourself. These sorts of supports are not for those who need them, who can't do it without them, nearly as much as they are for those who simply value the benefit of having them. If it feels better with them, use them. It's really that simple. And here, as I'm showing this, my shoulders are both resting comfortably toward the ground, but what if they weren't? What if this one were up, or this hand kind of couldn't touch down, or I couldn't relax down? If I were feeling this, this would not nearly be as relaxing. And so, again, bring the earth to you. Your body doesn't have to go to the earth. You can bring the earth to your body. Let go. Bring your knees through center. Hug in. Remembering there's no right amount that they hug. You can put some energy into it, or you can have a lot of just very barely there light touch. And your body may say, this is as far as I go. So be it. Your body may say, I don't even like hugging the knees in, but I'm okay with feet on the ground. And so be with that. We're going to briefly explore a fallen tree pose. Left leg long and right footprint on the inside of the left leg. Nice long spine, not arched or not kind of straining or angling anywhere, just long line of energy through the neck, through the spine, left leg, footprint falling open, right foot somewhere on the inside of that left leg. And even though this is very comfortable and familiar to me, it still can feel really nice to have something to support that knee. And when it's not real comfortable or familiar, I would say even more value. And if a small, low support just isn't enough because your knee is up here, again, bring the earth to you. And the practice, this yoga, does not ask you to go buy anything. You, I'm sure, have somewhere in your home space some kind of pillow, blanket, Afghan, towel that you can roll up and use. Speaking of which, you might want something at the back of your head. If when your head is down, your chin is up, and the idea of bringing it more neutral and down just doesn't seem to happen. Or even if you're like, I have no idea what I look like, I can't see myself. Try something. I happen to be using a mat, but you could of course use the pillow, the blanket, the towel. And what are we looking for? Comfort, length. Chin, not so much like this, and a little more like this. You don't have to strain it. Switch sides. Each side is its own. Each time is its own. There's really no reason why every time you do this it would feel the same. And there's really no reason why the left and the right sides would feel the same, or the foot would want to find the same spot. Different moments allow them to be entirely different experiences. And the beauty of that is that every time you do this, you don't know. And that's beautiful, that's great. It's an inquiry. What do I want? What do I need? What feels good right now? Again, right leg falls open, arms could be honestly be anywhere, including, if it feels better, resting on your abdomen, your hips, a hand at the heart, a hand at the belly. Maybe you like having your elbows down and your hands resting, feeling your body breathing. And if the mind is having a hard time, just stay, let go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. What would feel good? Maybe a hug. Maybe feet on the ground, knees swaying, arms stretching. Maybe you want to get long. Sigh it out. After you've done one leg long and one footprint on the inside of the long leg, those fallen tree poses, you might find that you want to do both sides at the same time. This is a pose that has many names. Cobbler, Dovakin Asana. The idea is to give your knees, like your head rests on a pillow, give your knees that. And again, it's not that you have to have it, but it might feel good. And in this restorative space, we're really trying to be as inviting and as gentle as we can. Hands can feel body breathing, or splay out, or cactus. Eyes soften and close. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Take a big breath in, breathe it out. Our last posture. For this pose, I'm going to offer just yet another way of allowing your body to feel supported, especially if you know that you have a back that needs support, that likes it when the knees are bent and the feet are on the ground, or you know that you tend to arc up and you have a hard time relaxing down, then you especially may enjoy having support at the knees. How much? Honestly, it's just up to you, what feels good. The main thing is you don't want it way up here, in terms of like high on above the knee. Most of us are going to feel better if we have our support a little more around the bend of the knee, or even kind of on the lower portion of that. But as always, you'll play and you'll feel, and that'll help you know. This whole head neck support, purely optional. You can have it or not. Comfort is your guide. I happen to have a block. You could have another blanket, towel, a pillow. With little kids, I use stuffed animals. Rest. If you don't like it, don't use it. Why are we doing something on the abdomen? Just because it can be an extra focal point of awareness, can help the mind and the body as we tune into the breath to notice the rise and the fall of the breath, the block, the belly, the chest. As you rest here, an invitation, not a requirement, not an expectation, an invitation. Allow your mind to scan first the brow and the temples, your jaw. Notice your breathing. Your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your chin, your chest, the length of your spine, your hips, the length of your legs, your feet, your fingers, they may wiggle, your toes, they may wiggle. Sigh out the breath. going to count from 7 down to 0. You are how you are, you feel how you feel. This backward count is an opportunity to become more present, to practice a restful awareness of now. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Breathe in through your nose if your body lets you, sigh it out through your mouth. As a helpful anchor to your right now experience, a soft invitational refrain, inhale, let, and exhale, go. When you take your next breath in, breathe in as if you could imagine, feeling, even seeing the breath going all the way through the length of your body, down into the very tips of your toes. And breathe out. As if you're empty. And do that again. Take your time, your rhythm, your pace, your breath. Breathe in as if getting into the tips of your toes. And breathe out as if drawing from the toes, through the legs, through the trunk, maybe even reaching back through the fingers, breathing out. Sweep your thumb across your fingertips and wiggle your toes. Softly turn your head. Let your mind's awareness center on your physical body. Again, this is a kind, attentive inquiry. And now notice your right now state of mind. There's no way in which we begin our practice. There's no way in which we're supposed to feel during it or over or at the end of it. So just notice what's your state of mind right now. Changes all the time. Notice your mood. Notice your energy. Is it kind of high or low, sort of sluggish, frenetic, kind of hard to tell? Support yourself through to seated. What's the best way to sit? People have asked me that. The best way to come through to seated is honestly a way in which you feel supported. And so for some, that's rolling over to the right side, but history there with a hip, a shoulder, a hand, a wrist may say, no, don't do that. And the left side, or rolling through the length of the spine. Support yourself through the seated. If you don't think about it too much, your body will get you there and you'll get yourself there comfortably. And then sit in a way, again, that's comfortable for you. We do, though, invite ourselves to have the crown of the head reach high, invite the shoulders to be low, the heart to be open, and allow the hands to fall in some restful place that supports everything I just described. The hands come to the heart. As we began, we were invited to plant a seed. And now you're invited to plant another. It doesn't replace the first one, it's another seed. How do you want to feel as you move through the rest of this day, this evening, maybe the week, the month, the year? How do you want to feel? What would you love to create, to receive? What would you like to give? What kind of an energetic presence would you like to be as you move through your day and you interact? Palms come together. The light that dwells within me is the light that dwells within you. May you see and feel your light. May you notice the light moments in your day. And may you have a really good day. Namaste.